Here we are for week 5, going over verbs. Last week we learned simple verbs, progressive verbs, and perfect tenses. We've already studied some subjects and predicates, some parts of speech and parts of sentences. All right, these are some things we're going to go over again this week, okay? All right, so I yawned today. Yesterday I yawned. Tomorrow, I will yawn. I am yawning today. Yesterday, I was yawning. Tomorrow, I will be yawning. All right, that's a great way to start your lesson. Oh, yawn. A progressive verb describes an ongoing or continuous action. I have yawned today already. Yesterday, I had yawned before I had my dinner. Tomorrow, I will have yawned by the time the sun goes down. Okay, who comes up with this stuff? A perfect verb describes an action which has been completed before another action takes place. All right, so these are things we've already learned, just kind of reviewing. Let's look at exercise 17A. Simple, progressive, and perfect tenses. All the bolded verbs are in the past tense. Label each bolded verb as S for simple, PROG for progressive, or PERF for perfect. Now, you probably are going to need your packet that you had last week that showed us there are certain helping verbs that go with progressive and perfect. Now, the simple ones generally are the ones they just add the ED to it. Now, for, I believe it's perfect, you get have, has, or had that go before the verb. Okay, progressive are going to be the others. So let's look at these. So now in these subterranean caverns lived, that's going to be S, simple. A strange race of beings called by some gnomes, by some kobolds, by some goblins. There was a legend, this is going to be simple, I believe. A legend current in the country that at one time they lived, that's simple, above ground and were like other people. But for some reason or other concerning which there were different legendary theories, the king had laid, this would be perfect. Actually, to be more exact, but it didn't ask for this, this would actually be perfect, past perfect, because it's past, but just perfect. What they thought too severe taxes upon them or had required, perfect, observances of them they did not like or had begun to treat them with more severity. This would be perfect. In some way or other, and imposed stricter laws, and the consequence was that they had all disappeared. I believe this is perfect. From the face of the country. According to the legend, however, instead of going to some other country, they had taken, this is perfect. I believe this, I could be showing you wrong. I probably need to look at the key. In refuge in the subterranean caverns, whence they never came. This would be simple. Out, but at night, and then seldom showed, simple, themselves in any numbers, and never to many people at once. It was only in the least frequented and most difficult parts of the mountains that they were said to gather even at night in the open air, those who had caught, that would be, I'm believing that this may not be perfect. I might be confused because I don't have the thing in front of me. Let's just take a look at this. I may be telling you incorrectly. I don't have my thing in front of me, which I should, but I don't. Where are we here? We are on lesson, what was that, 17? Let's just take a look. Here we go. Okay. So I knew these were simple. This was perfect, 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 perfect. Simple, simple. That was perfect. That's what I thought. Said was simple. Had altered would be perfect. In the course of generations. And no wonder, seeing they lived, which is simple, away from the sun in cold and wet and dark places. Yeah, so we're right. So none of them were progressive. I thought that was kind of odd. That's why I kept second guessing myself. I know these verbs, but I was second guessing myself because they didn't have any progressive ones in here. But if you'll go back and look at the list from last week, remember it tells you what comes before those to make those that way. Okay, let us then move on. Had rejoiced, will have rejoiced. A phrase is a group of words serving a single grammatical function. Have greatly rejoiced. They will have all rejoiced. Okay, this is showing you how we diagram the verb. Now, you might say, well, just rejoiced is the verb. No, you have to use those helping verbs that come with those. Remember, to diagram, we lay our line here. We put our other line here. Subject goes over here. Who or what have rejoiced? And then they would go here. Or I guess this sentence would go here. Will have rejoiced. All right. The subject of the sentence is the main word or term the sentence is about. The simple subject is just the main word or term. The predicate of the sentence tells something about the subject. The simple predicate is the main verb along with any helping verbs. Part of speech is a term that explains what a word does. A noun is a person, place, or thing. Pronoun takes the place of a noun. Part of the sentence is a term that explains how a word functions in a sentence. A verb shows an action, state of being, links two verbs together, or helps another verb. This was all just review. Let's go to exercise 17B. Identifying and diagramming subjects and predicates. Identifying verb tenses. Here's your instructions. Underline the subject once, the predicate twice. But stop right there for a second. Always find the verb first. And then say who or what, whatever the verb is. And then you find your subject. For some reason, this wants you to find your subject first. But it's easier when we get into harder sentences and longer sentences. It's going to be easier to find your verb first. Be sure to include both the main verb and any helping verbs when you underline the predicate. Identify the tense of each verb or verb phrase. Simple, past, present, or future. Progressive, past, present, or future. Perfect, past, present, or future on the line. Then diagram each subject and predicate on your own paper. Okay, so this is going to take a little while. This is taken from The Light Princess and Other Fairy Stories. Never read it in my life. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, what is that? About 14, I guess, sentences. Okay, so basically, let's look back, see. It says, so you're going to underline the predicate, the whole verb, with all of its helping verbs with it twice, and then find your subject, and then you're going to identify the phrase, the tense of the verb, and then we're going to diagram it. They did not do the first one for you, so I'm going to help you with this first one. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to use red. All right, so her atrocious aunt had deprived the child of all her gravity. Okay, let's first find the verb. Okay, is there any way you could find it before I do? Had deprived. That's your verb. Now, we have to underline the verbs twice. Make sure we do that. Who or what had deprived aunt? Underline that once. Subjects are once, verbs are twice. All right, so once we have found the verbs, or the verb phrase, and the subject, then we have to determine what tense this is. I think this would be past What would you say? Past. I think it's just past simple. I don't know if they say simple past. I think they say simple past. But it's just, nope, that's not simple. Sorry. Back up, back up. No, that's not right. Whoa, what did I do? Yeah, well, that's just not going to work there. Where'd we go? Oh, we went. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just kind of messed everybody up right there now. Oh, yeah, we're way past. What did I do? Dear goodness. Let's find this. If I'm making you dizzy, you'll just have to close your eyes. I'm so sorry about this. I don't even know what. I thought that was go back and fix what I just did. That was the wrong thing. I don't usually use this thing. We'll get there. We'll get there. Almost there. 16. There we go. Now, okay. That is not right. Not past simple. What was I thinking? That is not past simple. That is past. Get out of here. What is this doing? Okay. This would be past. Simple past. Progressive. That's what I was. No, I mean perfect. Perfect past, right? Because it has have, has, or had. Okay, so this would be perfect. Perfect past. Okay, I hope I didn't get you confused. Okay, so we found the subject and we found the verb, or the subject and the predicate. And then we labeled this as what tense it was. Now we need to diagram it. So we'll just use this as already there. So we'll put our line here. Okay, so I'm not going to write it because it's too hard to write it with this, but had deprived is going to go right here. And then your subject, aunt, is going to go here. So it should say, aunt had deprived. Okay? See if you can finish the rest of these on your own. I'm not going to grade it. And then I'll put the answers up here so you can check it. Go ahead and pause it. Okay, I'm going to assume you're done. So I'm going to go over here and see if we can find our answers. Okay, we already did the first one, so I'll just pull this up here. Like, whoop, what there? Okay. See if you can check these, and in just a second, I'll pull it up so you can check the last part. Okay, let me pull it up. Okay, I hope you got most of those right. If you're confused or you need some help, let me know. Okay. Oh, that's all for today. Okay. Well, there we go. If you needed any help on that, if you got a whole lot of them wrong, and make sure that you fix in a different color pen or pencil or something. Fix what you missed so when you turn those into me, I can just look at it and see what you missed. Don't erase it. I want to see what you missed so I can follow along and see how you're learning and how you're catching up with this stuff, okay? All right, that would be all for today.